Hi, it's Ileana, and today I'm just going to continue to discuss the Rife therapy and the Spooky2. So, I had tried the TMJ joint disorders, mandibular joint disorders, on my jaw, and I had tried a acid program for clearing acid from the body. And the frequencies of those two programs in the Spooky2 database were too high for me. So we discovered that I'm sensitive to frequencies um, in remote healing with the nail clippings and a bit of plasma in the remote that's attached to the generator, because you put the nail clippings inside the little remote that's attached to the generator X, or the big central generator, right? And then it runs the frequencies from the Spooky2 program database in the software, and you can determine if you're sensitive to frequencies by what your body is feeling, but by what you're feeling emotionally. I was just having a bunch of symptoms like being sweaty, being overheated, feeling like my skin was burning, head pressure, migraines, hearing loss, and just overall being somewhat agitated. And I've had these symptoms before when I've tried things or things have happened to me externally in the environment. So I sort of suspected that I could have a reaction to using the Spooky2, but I was also optimistic to try it as a treatment, as a healing modality, to see if it would work or not for me. And I'm happy that I tried it. I know that I'm too sensitive to most of its frequencies, so Rifing is not really for me as a healing modality, but that's okay. I wanted to see how the Rifing works because I'm curious, and I try a lot of different healing modalities on myself and on others for healing to see what works for someone and what doesn't. It's part of having a life experience. So, for me, this was a good learning opportunity to have access to Rifing with a very professional practitioner. And it was done through a healing exchange. And this person was very kind to me. They were understanding. They listened to me. They understood my concerns about my sensitivities. So it's a learning experience for them as well, because they've never had anybody who's sensitive to Rifing. So they learned something from me as well as a practitioner, and there was another friend of mine who was also participating in the healing exchange, and they tried the Rife, and they were sensitive to it too. So it might not be for them as well, but that's okay. At least we tried, we learned, and we got to experience Rifing, and we don't have the sense of what if we hadn't tried it? What if it was, part of our healing journey? We tried it, and it was a part of our learning healing journey as one potential modality. There's many healing modalities. There's energy healing, there's frequency healing, there's cold laser, there's PEMF, there's plasma healing. There's all kinds of healings that you can do. So it's about trying something to see what would work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, that's okay too. You just try something else when you're ready to, and as you are ready. It's part of seeing what's in the possibilities, what you are comfortable with in terms of healing modalities, and If it's the right thing for you, it will be the right thing for you. If it's not, that's okay too. At least you tried, and you get to see how different healing modalities work. So for me, just understanding even how the Spooky2 Rife therapy works, that was an interesting experience and a beautiful experience to learn about the technology, to talk to an experienced practitioner. So I would understand, do I want to buy a Rife machine for myself? Would it work for my healing and other people's healing? And I'm not going to buy it because the frequencies are too high from the programs for me, even with remote healing, with low plasma energy being turned on. But that's okay. Again, at least I know that this is not something I'm going to be buying as part of my healing tools, but for somebody else, they might if it works great for them. But I would recommend first going to an experienced practitioner to try a Rife healing with different frequencies depending on what health condition you have, or emotional things to heal. Because there's, again, the Spooky2 has 50,000 healing protocols in its database and 50,000 frequencies. So it's about trying and figuring out which frequencies would work best for your condition, for what needs to be healed. So again, Spooky2 and other Rife machines interact with your body with the electromagnetic field. That's how they heal your body, by interacting with their frequencies, waveforms, connecting with your electromagnetic field in your body, going through it and doing the healing internally with frequency. So that's how that particular healing modality works. And it could be done with tense pads. It could be done with remote frequency healing through nail clippings, saliva, hair, and other types of DNA samples. I'm going to be very careful about keeping my DNA to myself from this learning experience, but I did trust the practitioner. I do know them, who they are. They were referred to me. So the key thing about doing any type of healing is trust the person that you're working with. Know who they are, how they work, and what their reputation is like for healing. That was very important for me with this Rifing practitioner. They came highly recommended, and they're trustworthy. So that's important in any type of healing. So, I don't just give out nail clippings to just anybody. As a Wiccan practitioner and a witch, a practicing white light witch magic practitioner, I was taught to never give out my nails, my hair, my saliva, any type of DNA samples, because that can be used against you as part of black magic, occult practices. Like, it can be used to curse you, it can be used to harm you emotionally, it can create black magic spells to just create chaos and bad things in your life. It can be used to target you. So, I don't recommend just giving out particulates of your bodily fluids to just anyone. That's very important. And again, because DNA can be used against us in different forms to cause us pain, suffering, to make us feel unwell. So, or, it can be used to summon entities that can attack us. And it can be used as a form of energetic psychic attacks through DNA. So I was taught that when I was studying to be a witch, a white light magic practitioner, Wiccan witch. So I'm aware of the genetic implications as well when working with the Rife machines. I knew that going in, and I knew that I could potentially have, sensitivities and side effects. But, I was very optimistic. I was very open-minded to seeing what would happen. Because again, I look at things from a scientific perspective as well. You try and you see what happens, and you learn from your experiences. This is how I try to operate in my free will sovereignty. It's my free will choice in what I try and what I don't, and how I go about experiencing things in life. So I had a positive attitude. I was realistic. I was optimistic. And I had a bit of idealism going in to try the Spooky2. And I just wanted to see what would happen, how this technology worked, what it could do for me, for my healing needs, and for others, and to really report back on the process, honestly, what my experience with it was. And so I'm doing this in a 3-part series. And I'm very happy that I got to try it out. And again, for me, I learned a lot about rifing and that it can heal and that it can be good for people that have chronic pain. If you have shoulder pain, if you've been in car accidents, for your back, it can be amazing for certain things. I'm just a little too sensitive for it, so that's okay. That was just one experience. That was just my experience with it. It doesn't mean that yours will be the same. You can have great healing results with it. And there's many different types of rifing machines. Spooky2 is just one machine. There's many others with different softwares with different healing attachments. So, you can explore what type of rife machine you can get. There's 5-6 different options out there on the market. Have a look, do some research, what you feel comfortable. Go to some, referred practitioners who work with rifing, who could give you a rife therapy treatment to see how it feels for you, which frequencies are right for you. Some might not be right for you, and that's okay. Others could be more helpful. And it's about trying it out and seeing how it works, what works and what doesn't with it. Because again, 50,000 different frequencies for healing 50,000 different medical conditions. It's very incredibly interesting. So, try it out, have a look, what it feels like, what's the experience, and see if it's for you or not. It's part of having an experience. It's part of the beauty of living in this interesting life. So thank you so much, and namaste.